The first week of our project, we didn't have any ideas to start off with, so we decided to go to Scrapbox first and see what they had. We walked around for a while not finding anything. However, we eventually stumbled upon a bunch of different colored yarn that stuck out to us. We finally came up with the idea to make pushpin yarn art decorations with frames and to sell them. The first design we thought should be the classic Block M. However, this didn't really go as planned, as the pins were very sharp pushing into the base, and we didn't have any of the right tools like scissors or rulers, as you can see here, and really had to improvise with what the Ugly provided. Most importantly though, this process took around 2 hours to just put together and make a single piece of yarn art. In our first business model canvas, we really didn't know what to do. We thought that our value proposition was just the value of our materials and that the only partner we had was Scrapbox. However, we finally created our first prototype to sell. However, it had one major issue. It was basically a death trap. We knew that in our next week we would have to change something so our art decorations didn't have 20 plus pins coming out of the back and our customers bleeding when touching it.
Many of the changes in week 2 involved us narrowing the scope of our project in an effort to improve our product and better target our market. With the addition of better tools such as wire cutters, which greatly reduced the danger involved in purchasing our product, and better cutting equipment to create cleaner edges for our designs, we were able to better cater to our customers by having more aesthetically pleasing artistic pieces. The improvement in equipment also led to drastically faster times of production, which allowed us to be more efficient with our time. The business model canvas also drastically improved as compared to week 1. We added primary partner by using social media as a means to receive custom orders. We increased the quality of material, such as better paints. We improved upon our initial design with more key activities, like adding artistic value to the frames themselves. And we were also able to finally determine what our value proposition was, unlike week 1. We improved upon our sales network, as well as utilized social media networks such as GroupMe, Instagram, and Facebook in order to cast a wider net and retrieve more customers. In the end, this led to us being able to make a profit of $26 by the end of week 2 and improve our product greatly.
After our internal mentoring meeting with Navanis, we realized we needed to have a narrower scope on our value proposition. In phases 1 and 2, we focused on selling to as broad an audience as we could outreach to, and realized we were not getting any traffic of people interested in Maize frames outside of close family and friends. We decided to pivot tailoring our frames towards students in dorms, and more specifically freshmen and sophomores who may have loose photos from moving in or taking pictures throughout the year. Instead of designs in all of our frames, we attempted to create frames with and without designs for people to include their own photos, instead of just purchasing designs we created. Our thinking was that we were able to paint and design frames by themselves faster than producing frames with designs, which took 3 times as long. Based off customer discovery we conducted, which included outreaching and surveying to students around campus, we learned that people were as willing to purchase frames as they were frames with designs in them. The downside, however, is that we were limited by the 5 frames that Scrapbox carried the second time we went. The upside is that while it took 2 weeks to sell all of our frames in phases 1 and 2, we sold an equal amount in the 2 days we created and sold our frames in phase 3, indicating that had we have not been limited to the number of purchasable frames, we would probably have been able to sell a greater number of frames given more time. Furthermore, on top of pivoting to selling only frames, we also received our first custom order, which amounted to twice as much as we would usually sell a regular frame, totaling to $90 for 8 frames before costs and $60 in profit over 3 weeks, $40 of which was made from a single day of sales following our pivot.